3, 2, 1.
Peanut Gallery Gaming.
Well, Ron Jeremy's more of a warrior than a Mario, but yeah.
You think he's a Wario?
God, definitely. Definitely.
Welcome to another episode of Peanut Gallery Gaming, where our opinions don't matter. This week, we're going to go in depth on multiplayer games. Ones that we really enjoy playing, some that probably we don't enjoy playing, and probably going to bring in some in-game purchasing. How I feel about it, or how we feel about it.
I forgot we were going to talk about that.
I just thought I'd throw it in there. As always, I'm Hotted, joined by Stinky Bandit.
G'day.
We got Hoggy Dog.
Yo.
We got Barto Il Perso.
Hello.
And as always, we got Uncle Blobby.
Hello. Happy Sunday.
Yes, it was a good Sunday indeed.
Good Sunday for you because you got a long weekend again.
Sure, typical government worker, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the Lord's Day, right?
First day is a day off.
The best.
Sick day. You should have a sick day tomorrow.
No, I got an EDO tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, see, because today's Monday for me. So then on Tuesday, I'm sick.
Yeah, can I use one of my sick days already, please? Okay. Well, let me start things off here. I'm going to list a few games that are very popular right now and have been for quite a while for multiplayer games. Among Us, I know that started about a year and a half ago. I know it's been around for a lot longer, but it really picked up steam when some streamers started streaming it. GTA 5 classic GTA series, that's been around for 10 years now?
Yeah, it's been around for
Be close to it if it's not. Yeah.
Three systems, or 3 generations of consoles.
Exactly. So that's pretty popular. People are still playing a lot of that, and they always come out with more and more content, which is good. But then they want you to buy their shark cards, right? Which brings up in-game purchases, but we'll talk about that later. Minecraft. That's a huge community itself. Minecraft online. Destiny. I know we play a lot of Destiny. Monster Hunter World. There's a huge community with that. I know over in Japan it's a lot bigger than over here, but. And then we got games like Army of Two. Like 2-player multiplayer games. I know Ardo and I played Young Bloods, and you guys remember we brought that up in the previous episode for worst games. But I
still played it. So I don't understand.
Achievement hunting.
Still
That's
played
all.
it from start to finish. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but we were just achievement hunting in it. That's all we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't judge us. It was a terrible game though. Still like 800, 900 gamer score.
So when I bring up multiplayer games, what comes to your guys' minds? Like
More than one player.
Okay.
Yep. That pretty much sums it up. Next topic.
Yeah, next topic.
All right. See you guys next week.
This episode,
I'm not sure, but just one more to add to your list there of popular ones. Okay. I know Counter-Strike has been around for a super long time and still super popular, especially in like competitive gaming scenes. So there's something to that one.
Huge. And well, then if you're gonna bring that up, we can bring up Rocket League.
Yeah,
that's another
one that was on my list actually.
That's huge, right? They have like not multi-million, but $1 million competitions where 12-year-olds are going in and winning money just by playing video games.
Yep. And I know you guys don't like it, but Fortnite is the same.
Fortnite was okay.
If I'm not mistaken, there's like huge Fortnite tournaments where people win tons of money as well, right?
Yeah. I know a few people that are really into Fortnite and actually building their computers to just run Fortnite so fast that they have no lag so that they can play just Fortnite. Which is crazy. You got a 3080 graphics card with tons of RAM and Now it's still getting a bit of lag, so you question the internet speed or your router. Oh, pretty competitive. Anybody else have any games that you can think about what comes to your mind when you bring up multiplayer? Like, hey, I like this because it was multiplayer. No?
I'm thinking of games that are coming out like kind of soon that are still in test phases. I know, like I didn't get to play it, or like hopefully I'll get in later on. But last weekend, I think they had the first open beta for Halo, and apparently that got pretty good rave reviews. You know, like everybody seemed to enjoy it. And I believe this weekend, or probably it might be finished now, but there was a closed beta for Back 4 Blood. And next weekend, I'm pretty sure it's the open beta, so I'm going to try that out. Because I didn't pre-order it, I'll just play it on Game Pass because that's just the way she goes. But so then we should be able to play that next weekend. So that'll be interesting.
I agree.
Okay, wait, what are we playing?
Back 4 Blood is that Left 4 Dead one that we talked about the other time, right?
That's open next weekend? Oh, the girlfriend's
that's the demo.
Beta.
Demo.
It's the beta.
Doesn't matter. I got the whole weekend next weekend to myself.
The game itself doesn't come out till October, and it's straight into Game Pass, so it's the perfect price.
That was my number one game though in E3.
Yeah, that was your number one. It is going to be pretty good because it's made by the people that made Left 4 Dead, which is another amazing multiplayer game. I know we met a lot of friends on Left 4 Dead when it came out.
But I totally forgot when the beta was. You just reminded me. That's amazing.
I'm on the big bucks. That's what I do.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm an ideas man. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of open beta, I heard a rumor that there's going to be an open beta for the Diablo 2 remake, and it's supposed to be
that's Hoagie's game.
happening this month or something.
Nah, I don't know if I'm playing that one.
I don't know if I will either, but it's coming up, and it was a big multiplayer deal back in the day.
Right.
Just like I said before, I'll probably play Diablo 2 just because I never played it originally. I've only ever played Diablo 3. I never played 1 or 2, so I'll probably check it out, but that's just because it's all new to me.
Well, if you say it's any good, I might give it a try, but we'll see. Because when I was playing Diablo 3, they had an event in game where you got transported back to like the Diablo 2 game in Diablo 3, and the graphics were just horrible compared to now. To the point where I just didn't want to play it.
Well, they're all 2D sprites from back in the day.
Right.
Like,
What about racing games? What about multiplayer racing games? What do you guys think?
Burnout Paradise. Excellent.
They
Game.
need to come out with a remastered version of Need for Speed Underground.
I think they are, aren't they?
No.
Or no, was it Most Wanted that they're remaking?
Yeah.
One of the two are being remade. And yeah, it was fun.
Thinking of old racing games I used to play a lot of. Have you ever played or heard of a game called Rock and Roll Racing on the Super Nintendo? That was great. Me and my buddies used to rent that game out all the time.
I used to
never
play
played
Top Gear on the Super Nintendo.
What about Whiplash? Does anybody remember Whiplash? Where you're driving your motorcycle, whipping people at chains as you drove by?
Road Rash.
Road
Rash.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, definitely played that at my buddy's house on the PlayStation.
What a good game. That's not multiplayer though, but it was still a good time. Hey, so let's kind of see the progression. I want to bring up the fact of where we came from was playing with your friends at their house, split screen, and now where we send our friends home to go play online. You know what I mean? Like, we've come so far. Would you still enjoy that if we were still back in the day split screen, or do you prefer it the way it is now, where you tell your friend, "Oh, I'll see you online after work," instead of coming over?
I would have never met you guys. So
It's true. Definitely.
Split screen was great until I found out that I hate sharing my TV with somebody else. Go get your own TV. And I'll see you online. But back in the day, like 4-player Mario Kart, like you didn't even think, like you didn't even care if you had this little baby ass screen, That
was the best there was, man, right? Like,
Yeah, you went over. Oh, what are we playing today? Mortal Kombat? Are we playing, Rainbow Road, Mario Kart, or what was that? Was there Mario Party? Right.
Yeah.
That was before.
Oh.
That was before online.
I was just going over
I'm happy to say
Duck Goose for the Nintendo.
Never played that
No,
one.
Duck Hunt. Sorry.
Duck Hunt,
for the
yeah.
original-
What?
Sorry.
Duck Goose? Wow.
I had the fucking game
Run
as a
around,
kid.
smash your knee into the coffee table. Game over.
So Duck Hunt was
those-
a little bit different, I guess. It's not like it was a split screen or whatever where you're playing at the same time. If I'm not
You still
you like took
competitive
turns,
two-player. Yeah, and
Yeah,
you get the highest score. So, like, you'd go over and beat your friends at, Duck Hunt.
Make them feel bad.
Yeah, I used to have that. And
Pistol whip 'em.
fun and everything.
You used to whip it? So with what,
Pistol
the
whip.
pistol?
Yeah, pistol whip. Yeah.
What about the ones where you used to be little airplanes and then it'd be like, it's not a side scroller, but it's like top to bottom scroller. You're flying through with you and your friend and you got to shoot, enemy helicopters and whatnot. Yeah, those were good ones too.
Their class as a shmup, which is a shoot 'em up.
Okay.
Like
Did you make that up?
1942.
Shmup.
No, it's a thing. I guarantee.
Yeah,
I guarantee.
Yeah, it
it's a
is.
thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Shmup.
Sounds Australian.
I know it
to me,
sounds
yeah.
ridiculous, which is why I brought it up. But yeah, it's called a shmup.
Okay.
Or like the old Double Dragon. That used to be.
Yeah.
I'm going to
But
say,
because like
Carry
I've
on.
also said too, I used to go to the arcades all the time. So like back in those days, like arcades were great. Like that was kind of split. As good as
so you met people.
co-op as you can get. Yeah. Go down there and beat people up in Street Fighter or Tekken or whatever it might have been, or even play Double
make
Dragon in the
friends.
old arcades, Ninja Turtles, stuff like that. So
I would say I'd miss those days, but I also enjoy my own space nowadays. Where
Because
you're
I got my
older.
own setup. Yeah, it's because I'm older and I hate more people. So
Yeah.
it's like I like you, but you stay over there.
I like you when you're not at my house. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
I can turn off the Xbox and you're no longer bothering me. Yeah, yeah.
What if I bring up
Well, sometimes they're sitting around not wearing anything.
I'm naked?
Yeah.
Who's aiming naked?
I mean,
Nothing
is that
more
how you play
fleeting in the
games?
world. Yeah, that's how you play multiplayer. That's the only way to play multiplayer. 'Cause they'll never know what you're holding, either your controller or your joystick.
Well, it's always a joystick of sorts.
Okay, I'm gonna bring up worst multiplayer games that you've either played or haven't played or heard of. I'm gonna bring up Youngblood. It was good. It was fun. But the multiplayer
I don't think that's
mechanics
as
are
much
kinda
as a
garbage.
bad multiplayer game as just in general a bad game.
Oh,
There you
okay.
go.
No, it was bad
Yeah.
multiplayer because one person couldn't just
but-
open the door so we could
But
move
single
on.
player
It
wouldn't have
required
made
both of
it
us.
better. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have
Good point.
tried it.
Good point.
An AI teammate. I don't know, because sometimes you forget to open the door, or you just stand there and wait at a door that needed to be open.
Mhm.
The AI just opens it.
We're going to bring up the Assassin's Creed where they tried to do the multiplayer where you had to go assassinate other people in a map.
Try and hide in the
remember.
crowd.
Yeah, it was kind of garbage. Like that kind of
What?
game should stay single player. Yeah, it was Assassin's Creed 3?
3.
I think it was Assassin's Creed. I don't remember which one it was, but they tried to introduce a multiplayer where you and like 5 other people are in this little arena, like map, and you're trying to assassinate each other. And it was just
that
really not
Brotherhood?
that good. Might have been. I can't remember. I erased it.
I
from my
remember the
memory.
game. I remember the type. Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else have a worse multiplayer game they can think of? One of the ones that probably should never try again.
What was this game called? Youngblood. That's all my pick.
I heard it's just a bad game.
Well, at certain points, it was really bad because if you played the other, holy shit, blank.
Okay, I'm going to be controversial a little bit here. I'm going to say Outriders.
Wolfenstein. Sorry, no, wait. The Wolfenstein series. Like, if you played like 1 and 2 and you go to play that, it's sad. It's very sad.
The game itself.
Yeah, compared to what the game was, like the build up to that and their storyline, how you ran around and played that game, they did like a complete remodeling of the game for Youngblood, and it
Weird.
is trash. It doesn't fit with the rest of it.
Man, it's going to be kind of hot until I explain it. Arc.
Okay.
But not just normal Arc, with the server and all that. I'm talking the one where your buddy joins your game, and when you run certain meters away from them, they just automatically get teleported to you. That fucking sucked.
Yeah,
that's why I went
multiplayer
mechanic. Xbox to run us the server. Yeah,
right.
That's fucking work.
So Arc is awesome.
Work.
Multiplayer aspect's awesome, but that version of multiplayer on Arc fucking sucks.
Okay, so yeah, basically, if you don't have a server-based Arc server, it sucks.
Yep.
Gotcha. I'll agree with that because when you're playing a multiplayer game, you should not be limited.
Yeah, you shouldn't be confined.
Yeah.
Especially one like that.
The open world
open
multiplayer
world game like that. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
That's terrible. I'm going to bring up Outriders.
I was thinking about that one too.
I never played
It's
that
not
one,
like
but
it.
a guy I work with said he played it and said he really didn't like it.
It was good. It was a great game. The leveling system was good. The weapons were cool. The powers were cool. Yeah, powers were cool, but they could never fix the multiplayer issues. Like, I know many times we tried to join Stinky, and just the ping was insane and chugging along, and it was just, even with the Series X Xbox, it was terrible. Terrible.
Well, it was only terrible when you played with somebody who had the original Xbox, wasn't it?
No, it was just.
No?
He used to hold us back on load times, but that was about it. But.
Yeah, like the whole multiplayer in that game was broken. That was the worst part because like you'd shoot marshmallows. When I say that, I mean your bullets aren't doing nothing. No damage was popping up. Just the whole multiplayer was broken. So it was good single player.
Have they been working on that at all? Because that's a pretty new game, isn't it?
I think they have been. I saw a few little news feeds about they've fixed a lot of stuff, but is it too late kind of thing because the whole fan base has already kind of left.
Okay, yeah, and it sounds like it hasn't been like enough to make you go back and try it more.
I'm addicted to this other Tarkov game that's also a multiplayer game. Running in, getting shot in the brain, and then having to rebuild your character and start all over. Love it.
Dying from some random dude in a bush camping with a sniper rifle across the map.
Yep.
You gotta love it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one aspect of multiplayer that I do love, but I haven't played for a long time, is Destiny raids. Like, I love Destiny raids. To me, that is almost the pinnacle of PvE teamwork. That is just excellent.
A
But
team working together, yeah.
yeah, like when you get in there as a team that's coordinated and everyone's having a good time and everyone, kind of understands what's going on, you can have some great fun. And I love Destiny raids. Like, I've done over 1,000 Destiny raids in Destiny 2. Like, I've got shit tons of completions and flawlesses and two-mans and, whatever else. But even though I love Destiny and it's a very clean, fun game, I'm just sick of the leveling up process to get to that point, which is why I haven't played the last 2 or 3 expansions that have come out, because...
What about having to grind for the weapons?
Yeah. It's well, what I mean, like, I love the Destiny raid, but I've got to go back and do a week and a half or, like 10 or so days worth of old crappy content that I've been doing for the past 7 years to be able to experience that one little chunk of it, which I want to experience. And I just can't be bothered doing that anymore. which is
It
kind
was
of
pretty repetitive, yeah.
yeah. But the actual
Same thing.
Destiny raids itself, to me, are amazing. But
Mhm.
So if you're given the weapons and you could just go into a raid mode, you,
no, I just don't want to have to go and do like 3 strikes, 3 crucibles, 3 gambits, go and do all my bounties, go and do all the flashpoints and all that sort of crap on change all your guns to your next character, do the same shit again. Change all your guns to the next character, do the same crap again, just to be able to experience that very end game point. It's just the actual level up process that you've got to get to that point. I guess
That was good when it first came out. And not what, 10 years later?
7. Well, if
7
you
years?
include Destiny 1, it's been 7 years. Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm going to bring up board games that have been turned into multiplayer games. I think that is great. Because you can have the online. Yeah, like Monopoly, the Game of Life. I know there's a few other ones that have been turned into, just don't know off the top of my head here.
I used to like Risk. I used to play a little bit of that.
Risk?
I was going to say Civilization, but I think that was a video game, then it was turned into a board game. But there's a whole ass thing on Steam called Tabletop Simulator. I don't know if you've heard of that. Oh,
yes, I've heard of this. Where you actually sit around a table, right?
Yeah, and you can it's like a game engine that you can use to create board games. And I haven't played it much. My friend bought me a copy of it because it was on sale. But there's every board game that you could ever imagine, as far as I understand. There's like an online version in this game. And then when you get pissed off at the end and you lose at Uno, you can flip the whole fucking table over.
That's pretty sweet. I think it's a great idea, especially
it's a fun. It's a different
even a party thing.
Yeah, it's a different take on like multiplayer video gaming. It's like, okay, here's board games are like a traditional multiplayer game thing. Now let's make it virtual.
And it's, in my opinion, better. And this is why. Because the rules never have to be reread. They're in there.
Yeah,
built into the game,
and there's no argument about.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I got to read this map of the fucking rule book that you got to spend 20 minutes looking through to see if you're did the right thing or not.
Even if you're trying to play like a Yu-Gi-Oh or a Magic, like you don't have to worry. The game works out all the rules. Or if you're playing Monopoly, it's not mysteriously that the banker always wins because he's got all the money. Fuck off. You didn't get all that money. You just pilfered a couple of $500 notes and everyone went to the bathroom. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Or there's no cheating looking at other people's hands. Let's say you're playing poker or whatever.
But thinking about card games, now this is kind of a different aspect of it, I guess. But I kind of missed out on this whole thing, but I know when the 360 came out, you'd buy the camera and it would come with Uno, and apparently that was a bit of a sexy time in Uno, where because it was the first webcam for the Xbox, and there was a lot of people doing like naked Unos and all this sort of stuff, and it was kind of a thing, and I think it got shut down pretty quick.
I had that. Where you can like dance.
Oh, no doubt.
I definitely had my own Uno.
The Xbox 360 video recorder. I remember those.
Sure I was the reason why it got banned.
Well, since we play video games naked, I mean, that's on them.
Yeah, that's them for hacking into my webcam. Just like to sit spread eagle, that's all.
I don't think it was people hacking in. I think it was just people launching a Uno lobby and then they were just in there and not wearing much.
Oh.
Or doing seductive things.
That sounds like you have a lot of experience in this. You say you missed it, but you sure know a lot about it.
I went back and I watched a compilation video.
Okay, yeah. Okay, let's take a minute to hear a word from our sponsor. Okay, let's bring up free-to-play multiplayer games like Fortnite, Apex. I even want to bring in Clash of Clans because that was multiplayer. Cell phone games.
Yeah.
Those are technically a video game, right?
Yeah.
I know I played a lot of that stuff, and then this will also bring in the part where I want to talk about in-game purchasing.
Yeah.
Like, at what point is enough in these free-to-play games? I understand they're free-to-play, and this makes them free-to-play. But I don't want, when I'm playing it, I don't want to be rubbed in the face about, hey, spend $20-$30 and get this little.
You just want to go to a shop but you don't want to see any ads.
Yeah, I don't want to see any ads. I just want to play the game. That's also me not liking marketing. Let me play the free game. You put it out there for free. I know you got to push this stuff to make it free. Just have a shop tab, and I'll go there if I'm like, hey, this game is awesome. Maybe I should, donate a little bit of money to them to keep it going.
But look at Apex Legends. That game's free to play. But you know how much fucking money I've sunk into that game? I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, a lot.
That's how much.
Or let's bring up cell phone games. For every time you play one little round of, you make this stupid little plane fly across a little gully or whatever, and then you get hit with an ad or two.
Yeah, that's nasty when there's like forced ads
every few
30 seconds or whatever. And then it's like you can pay to skip the ads or whatever. Fuck me.
And that never works. When
am I paying you to play a game that's free?
Exactly. I usually delete right away if I get interrupted or the first thing I see is an ad before I can even play. I delete the game. So
so there's also further to that. There's like those games, usually mobile games, I guess, where it's like, okay, you can watch an ad voluntarily. You can like click a button to watch an ad for 30 seconds and it'll give you some kind of in-game boost. So it's
I'll crush those out all day.
Now I can be
sure.
better at the game if I willingly submit myself to these ads.
I've done that. I've sat there and be like, okay, well, I need to watch this ad.
Yeah, I have
amount of times and just sit there like play ad, and then you were just watching TV, and then you gain all this loot and stuff just to progress in the game. And like, hell yeah, I will do that. I kind of find that fun. But I don't want to be, when I'm involved in a game, I don't want to have to take 30 seconds, 40 seconds out of my life to watch an ad just to play 5 seconds of a game.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really play phone games, and I never really have. But I do think that there are some free-to-play games that are done terrible and some that are done, pretty well.
Okay.
So mine are more like PC or console games, but I think a game like Path of Exile,
Great game.
Yeah, like you can do everything in that game, and you never have to spend any money, and all the paid for transactions is just quality of life, just to make it easy to organize your tabs and shit. But your stash tabs, you don't need it.
Game that's been made. If they can't let you function in the game without spending money,
exactly.
Could you imagine if you had none of your stash tabs?
Yeah, that would suck.
And I know when the new Halo comes out, the multiplayer of that is going to be entirely free to play as well. So kind of you don't, so
Kind of like the Call of Duty.
Yeah. Where the only paid for transactions will be like Battle Pass type stuff.
Yeah, I was watching, actually. Fun fact, you bring that up. I was watching a little video today, and do you guys remember ever watching Red versus Blue?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so there is a color of pink you can make your character, and then it's like slightly off red, an homage to the Red versus Blue, but it's like a pink color. And the original one is like, oh, it's not pink, it's just slightly not red. And so that's what the color of pink is called in the new Halo that's coming out. I thought that was kind of cool. Just a little tidbit.
Spoiler?
Spoiler? No spoiler. It's been published out there.
So back to the like the battle pass thing. I know Fortnite has that.
Okay.
Rocket League has like a battle pass
Apex.
thing. Apex, I guess. Sure. So if I'm understanding correctly, those you just get like cosmetics or whatever, right? It's nothing that actually helps you be better at the game.
Yeah.
Makes your character look different. It turns your
Pretty
gun
much.
pink or gold or whatever.
Yeah.
Gives you different acts. So you can still play the game for free, and like, there's no ads in Rocket League, from what I remember.
Yeah.
You have the option to buy that, for $10 a season or whatever, and then you get new wheels for your car every level and shit.
Yeah.
And it kind of helps keep the game interesting for you. Makes you a little more unique as a player because you can customize your thing.
One thing I'll bring up about Apex and their battle pass, which I really like, is you only have to buy. Hold on. If you're smart about it, I'll bring that up.
You buy it once and then you get enough
Buy it once.
credits to get the next one.
You get more than enough credits to buy the next one.
Yeah, I like that too. I think the Rocket League one is the same. If you level up high enough, you'll get enough credits to buy the
Or
next
you're
one.
like me, who just loves loot packs apparently, and just spends all the credits you get on loot packs.
Did you get an heirloom at least?
I have a
remember. You got
couple
one,
heirlooms
right?
in that game.
Yeah. I still don't.
I've never gotten one out of a pack, but yeah,
And to like buy an heirloom isn't it like $160.
yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah,
Just
it's
leave it. It's
ridiculous.
expensive.
Ridiculous. Anybody else got some multiplayer games that they want to talk about or bring up? Or
I don't know, but there's like this big debate about this whole free to play blah 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 thing, and there's like a category of games that are pay to win. Like if you pay money.
Oh yeah,
you're
that's
gonna-
different.
Yeah,
So-
that's
Do you guys have a good example of a game that's like pay to win and therefore it sucks?
I know there was
good example.
Or a bad
Eden?
example? I don't know.
Was it Eden? Where you could buy ships that are bigger than your beginning ships. And you can spend enough money in the game where you could have the biggest ship. That could pretty much
A lot
wipe
of
out anybody. Without even
Mobile
having
games
to
have that, like that I've played before. I can't think of the name of them right off hand, but like you buy 40 draws of this, or you buy this $100 pack and you get all this badass armor to start with and shit like that.
Yeah,
See that
okay.
a lot in mobile games.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
I know that game I'm in,
The
and that you're
mobile world.
talking about, Hodded.
Mhm.
That's a space game, eh?
Yeah, space game.
Yeah. I've never played it, but I know the game you're talking about. And the thing about that is, it's like some of those ships that you got to buy are like thousands of dollars. And
Yeah.
if my clan has a better army than yours, and we roll up, we blow up your ship, it's done. We just
Come on.
basically drove over to your house and just blew up your $1,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's fucking ridiculous. I want no part of that.
That's a huge. That brings in MMOs like World of Warcraft. And
I have something to say about that
Yeah,
game.
World of Warcraft doesn't really have pay to win.
No.
It just has cosmetic shit like
cosmetics.
mounts and stuff. I mean, they have character boosts. You can pay a certain amount of money and get your character leveled up immediately. But it ain't going to matter if you don't have the gear, which you have to play in game to,
What about RuneScape? I like this one because all they did is it's free to play. You can get 99 in a lot of the skills that you have, but if you want to unlock a few extra and a whole massive world, then you subscribe to it. And there's no cosmetics, no ads or anything, but you get so much for your $5 a month. Kind of like Game Pass. I used to, unlock different skills, different abilities, more armor, and just opens up to such a big world.
So it's kind of like if you can play the game for free, but if you subscribe, then here's like the actual full game.
Yes, pretty much. I would say that's pretty close to what it is, yeah. Which is smart because getting people to subscribe, you make more money in the long run than if you get people just to buy the game straight, right?
Yeah, and here's
That makes
also
sense.
the other thing. If I subscribe to something for $5 a month, sometimes I forget that I've even subscribed for 3 months if I'm not playing, or it's like, well, I don't know when I'm going to play next, but I'm going to keep the subscription just in case I want to play or whatever. So
Yeah.
you're still paying that money even though you're not actively using the service. At least I find myself doing that.
Xbox Ultimate. I'm still paying for it, but I haven't touched my Xbox in I don't know how long.
It's been
That's only
30
because you're playing that
days.
shitty Tarkov. That's all.
I also
thing.
say like Destiny is a game that you just keep paying to play. They just download little content here and there.
Mm-hmm.
There was big controversy when that first came out, where they had a whole bunch of closed off areas that people were hacking themselves into, like take your Sparrow here and like shoot yourself into the wall, and then you open up this whole map or this little pathway you can run through. And I remember Destiny catching some flack about releasing a game and then selling off the little bits to open up those little borders.
DLCs
Those little
instead of
DLCs.
the actual game.
Well, a lot of companies do that now, where they'll make a game and they'll sell you 80% of it, and then make the other 20% or close that off and put that on DLC. You know?
Yeah. I think that was the next logical question here. Is like, what about downloadable content? Because if I pay $80 for a full price game, and then like when I'm buying the game, they give me the option. It's like, here, you can buy the elite version for $100, and that guarantees you the next 2 downloadable contents for free or whatever. It's like, hang on a second. Like, why don't you just make that downloadable content part of the game?
Always was.
Or
sure.
like they'll release, here's a season pass. You'll get all these maps, and then they come out with another season pass with more maps, and they keep doing that.
Yeah.
Like, fucking come on.
Well, here's some controversy, and both these games are actual Capcom games. But I know when Street Fighter Cross Tekken, when that came out, and they had all this big season pass, and they were going to drip feed you all these brand new characters and stuff. All those characters were on the disc. Because this is back in the 360 days, and people were hacking their system, and they just accessing these characters that nobody else had, and they were playing with them online in an online match with characters that weren't even released yet because they're already on the disc. So that's fucking bullshit.
They were gonna make you pay later on to like unlock that part of the disc that you already owned.
Yeah.
That's
in the game,
wild,
those characters are already on the disc, or another Capcom game, which I really did enjoy, and I actually did get this DLC though, but it's called Azura's Wrath, which is like a very story-based game. It's pretty much the most Dragon Ball Z epic, over-the-top anime-style game you'll ever play, but to access the true ending, it's DLC. So you could beat the game, but if you wanted to see the final chapter and get the true ending, that was DLC, and that's fucking what? That's stupid.
Yeah, that's nasty.
It's funny.
It was cool because you could actually fight Akuma on the moon and all sort of crazy shit in Dragon Ball Z style battles, but still, come on. But then some games like GTA, where they put out content all the time and it's always free. But then they just make the prices of the things that they want you to buy, brand new cars and stuff, that expensive. You've either got to grind for hours upon hours or go and buy a couple of shark cards. So.
The easy way out, or spend the month grinding for that one particular item.
You'll spend 3 weeks playing flat out to go and buy a car that you'll drive twice. Yeah.
It's fun though. That one is fun to play with your friends because you all hop in a helicopter and you can have a whole lobby full of friends, like 20 people that you know, right?
Or 20 people you don't know.
Yeah, but okay, how friendly is that game to new players? Because you get a lobby full of players that have been playing for years that are just there killing people and shit like that. And then you
need to have your own private lobby for certain things. Yeah,
comes in and just gets shit on repeatedly. It's gonna make him not want to play that game. You're
just trying to buy a brand new T-shirt from the shop, and you're just getting rocketed every time you walk out of that store. Yeah, I know, it's a pain in the ass.
Your car blows up.
Okay, so that Grand Theft Auto, you guys just talked about the shark cards, and that from what I gather, that's like you take your $20, you go to Walmart or whatever, or maybe you just buy it online, and you turn that 20 real life dollars into like $1 million digital dollars, right?
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Like $20 million.
Yeah, sure. So what about the opposite scenario? Like, so suppose that you can't sell your in-game money to other people for 20 real life bucks.
No.
No. And say, like, even if my character, even if he had $10 billion, I can only give you probably $1,000 a day.
Yeah,
so then
okay.
that kind of like turns that off, so then people who do have phenomenal amounts of money just can't, I just buy your money off eBay and then you roll into my game and just give me $1 million. Yeah. So that's how they got around that.
Can you sell your whole ass character on eBay? Sell your
Probably.
account?
I'd probably have to sell my Xbox account.
And that's going to sell everything else that's attached to it too. Okay, so back when Diablo 3 first came out, if I'm not mistaken, there was like an auction house where you could sell in-game items for real life money.
Correct. Yep.
Right, and they removed that.
Yeah.
They removed that because people were, I don't know, gaming the system or whatever, making too much money off of their unique axes and whatever. But it seems to me that like all these game companies, they want to encourage you to turn your real life money into digital whatever, but they never give you an opportunity to do the opposite. Like they really try to clamp down on preventing you from selling your in-game assets for real money. Like I know in Escape from Tarkov, they've put in tons of things into the game just to prevent that, like that whole found in raid mechanic where you can only put an item on the auction house if it's found in raid or whatever. They introduced that as a means to reduce the amount of real money trading that people were doing. And it just seems kind of weird to me that, on the one hand, it's so easy to turn your real money into digital currency, but you can't turn your digital currency back into real money. They just don't let you do that.
Yeah, they'll take your money in a heartbeat. As soon as you click, it's gone out of your account.
Yeah, but they won't give you a way to like make it back. Right?
No, they don't want you making money on their game.
Yeah.
You can make way more than them.
You could potentially, right? If you can grind hard enough, you can make more money than the people that make the game.
Yeah, if you make stuff with a ridiculous drop rate, so it's like 1 in 10 million, you get this. Some dude's going to give you like $500 for that, possibly, because he'll never get it, and that's all he wants to complete his character.
Well, like World of Warcraft, Path of Exile, like all those types of games, they're always going to be plagued with that, where someone's trying to sell your items or gold. If you jump onto certain websites, like they'll give them money. Even in like where I mentioned it before, like about Destiny 2. Even in Destiny 2, there's like proper websites that are set up. So you go on there and you pay however much money it is, through PayPal, $20 or whatever. And whoever's on that website, which some of the lads who I used to play with, they used to do it. Like they'd sign up for that website and then they'd get a certain percentage and they'd get given an Xbox account and then they'd go and run the raid for you. So you've never done the raid, but you've got 4 completions because I went and completed them for you and I got you some of the guns. So,
Yeah. Back
I remember.
Isn't that like leveling up to in Call of Duty games for people?
Didn't you do that for D-Boon?
Like I helped. No, I helped him get some achievements. Like I signed into his account to play like the campaign.
Yeah. So that's basically the same thing. Yeah, except people pay for that.
Yeah.
Well, like in World of Warcraft, there's you'll see it all the time if you go to like a major city. If you go in their little looking for group thing in their game, selling Mythic Plus run of raid, blah blah blah, guaranteed loot drops, blah blah blah, for so much real money.
Yeah.
It's a common thing nowadays.
I'm sure you could do that for Destiny just as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, Destiny's definitely got it for raids and trials and all that sort of shit.
Oh, trials would be a big one.
Hey, guys. Well, let's get on to our next topic here. It's time for Audit's Theoretical Questions of the Week. We like to reach out to our Twitter and our Facebook page with a question and have you guys feedback on it. This week, you have to pick one video game character pick a video game character to babysit your kids Who would it be and why? Why would you choose them? So, I know Stinky might be chomping at the bit here. Do you have any video game characters on your mind that you want to babysit your kids?
Well, first off, I've got the perfect amount of kids at my house. One, me, one giant man baby. So I don't have any kids. I have enough toys and fucking action figures and shit here in my lounge room that you would think I'm a big kid. And well, that I have kids, but I definitely don't have kids. But I guess it would depend. Is this person coming to my house? Or am I dropping my kid off at their house? Because that's different,
Yeah, good question.
Yeah. So just say if I said, Doom Guy, he can look after my kids. But if I got to drop my kid off at his house, no, I'm not. That's a bad neighborhood, But like I've got a couple of honorable mentions that I'll mention at the end, just in case, I just don't want to burn anybody else's. But probably the best character who I can think of who is essentially a babysitter in the game is Big Daddy from BioShock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's programmed to protect, isn't he?
Yeah, pretty much, because my kids can look after themselves, but he's just there just to protect them, I know. So that's the best thing I could come up with was Big Daddy from BioShock. That's basically his job.
Interesting.
I love that. I didn't even think of that.
That's a good one.
Okay, so I thought of the Sims characters.
Okay.
I think because they're
I don't know about
as long as you can provide them with what they need, they survive. So
Yeah, but you're the one
have-
providing it.
yeah, I feel like I got enough to provide for my kid to survive.
Okay. Interesting.
I think they'd be great at just managing what needs to be done, like make sure the kid goes to school, come back, change them, feed them. As long as I can provide the sim characters, obviously, with enough food. Because if I forgot to build a front door, we're fucked. If I have a swimming pool and something happens to that pool, they're not putting a new railing up. That kid's dead for sure.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
Okay. Who wants to go next? What about Hoagie?
If I had to choose a video game character to babysit my kids.
You had to choose.
So that's a good question because I don't know who I'd want to babysit my kids.
Someone.
They just fend for themselves. You just throw them a loaf of bread and a jar of peanut butter and they just fend for themselves.
Just tip over Stinky's bread container.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know who I'd want to babysit my kids. One of the ideas I had was already said, so I don't know. I have to think on it. Somebody else go. Let me think for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, I have an
What's your
idea.
idea of that?
Sorry?
Go ahead.
No, who's Hoagie's idea then?
I was going to
Hoagie's
say
coming
Doom
back.
Guy to be funny, but
He would definitely look after your kids. I just don't want to leave my kids at his.
He'd probably be the most badass babysitter ever.
Could he even fight your kids nightmares? Could he get into that realm?
Maybe.
Your kid would have the best sleep every time. Never a nightmare.
Or would have the fucking most brutal nightmares you could ever imagine.
It's like at Princess Peach in Mario games. They just kidnap him and he's got to go save the kid every Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. That's someone I don't want to be babysitting my kid would be Mario because he's always losing people.
Sorry, your kids are in another castle.
Yeah. Son of a bitch, yeah.
Shouldn't have eaten so many mushrooms.
Yeah.
Okay, Uncle Blobby, why don't you tell us who you want to babysit your kids?
Yeah, all right. I didn't have one particular character, but it's a family of characters, and it's the Donkey Kong family. And the reason, I don't know if you guys ever played Donkey Kong 64 or not, but that was
Absolutely
what I was thinking of. So there's a whole family of them. You got Donkey Kong, the classic father figure. You've got Cranky Kong, So you got a grandpa. And I was reading, and apparently Cranky Kong had a wife called Wrinkly Kong. So you got a grandma, and then you got your Diddy Kong, who's your little brother guy. You got your Dixie Kong, who is actually Diddy Kong's boyfriend, but she could be like a sister character. And then you've got, I think there was like a Funky Kong and a Lanky Kong, like the guy with the sunglasses and the big muscles, and then the other guy with the big arms. Or
And there was Donkey Kong 3.
Those guys are like your uncles. And so the only problem there is there's no mom character, but apparently Donkey Kong's hot girlfriend, Candy Kong, could be the mom character. And I guess if a video game
Swami Kong for sure.
If a video
We
game
got her.
had to babysit my kids, I would probably pick them. I don't have any kids, but that would give them a whole family dynamic. And I guess they can learn.
That's not a bad one.
Bananas and ride a rhinoceros. And
Okay.
Did you ever play like Donkey Kong 1, 2, and 3 for the Super Nintendo?
yeah,
Did you?
In Donkey
Did you?
Kong Country.
Did you ever watch the TV show Donkey Kong Country?
no, I don't remember.
What?
didn't-
You should watch the TV show. You might really enjoy it.
Okay, so if I had
It's
to
got like
choose,
the whole.
Yeah, I'm looking at it on Wikipedia now. Yeah,
Oh, man, you should watch that. That was a great show when I was a kid, and it has kind of exactly like everything you just said, the whole family dynamic. But they also are getting attacked by that the bad guy, the king crocodile dude.
King K.
So
Rool.
they gotta like kind of save them sometimes. But that show was good shit when I was a kid.
Yeah, I can't believe I didn't know it existed.
You should watch it, download it, just whatever you must do. You'll enjoy it.
okay, so I had to toss up between three video game characters. The first one I had thought about was GLaDOS from Portal series.
Yeah, that's kind of like the Big Daddy guy. It's like a
The main
babysitter
villain.
built in.
Yeah. So pretty much this thing could build rooms. You know, your kid's gonna have a blast for sure. Running around, it will protect it. The food situation, I don't know, because she always promised cake.
That's a lie.
Cake is a lie. So that got me thinking. It's like, well, okay, my kids are gonna have fun, but they're not gonna be, have nutrition. So then I thought about Link from the Legend of Zelda series, because not only he's a little fairy boy, right? He's young at heart, likes to have fun. He's got a bunch of gadgets that kids will love, like slingshots and all that fun stuff, bombs, explosives, bows and arrows, swords, sharp objects. They going on adventures, and he seems to kick ass, so he can take care of himself and your kid. And then after that, I was thinking Bowser as my third person. I had a hard time Bowser because anybody trying to get to your kid, they're gonna have a hell of a time getting there. You have to go, what is the first one? Airships and castles and lava and
Yeah,
underwater, right?
The lava's the only thing scary. You think a fucking turtle is gonna scare you, Brian?
Yeah, have you ever seen a 100-pound alligator snapping turtle? That thing's terrifying. Sure, you can walk faster than it, but if you just so happen to get your ankle close to it, your foot's gone.
And so I'll give you the power of a fire leaf. Are you now scared of this turtle?
Yes, it's also got a
How about
go-kart
like
track in his backyard. Man.
Yeah. You got tennis rackets, tennis balls, bowling balls. Like, man, you have a surplus of.
Okay, and I will bring up this point. Let's say your kid does get stolen. He's just going to steal it back. So he steals the princess again.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, but somehow he has magic of never dying.
Exactly. Perfect babysitter. And then I'll do my first honorable mention because
Then he has to start a new game at some point. And wouldn't that just restart your kid?
well, there's a lot of things that can restart your kid. The game of life. Agent 47 would be an honorable mention for a babysitter.
From Hitman?
Yeah. You never know that he's there. But your kid would be safe. There might be a pile of dead bodies around him after, but
Nah, well, you should hide them in closets so people can't find them. But
your closets would be full. You'd come home, you're like, what the hell's going on here? I think you
what
got
about? Yeah, so this is a person who would probably make a bad babysitter, but it'd be an interesting conversation. Trevor from GTA 5. Do you think?
your kid would be doing crack cocaine.
Oh, and at minimum, at the bare minimum, he would be. Yes. Or what about Mr. Mime?
Mr. Mime.
Yeah, Mr. Mime from Pokemon.
That'd be interesting for sure. What did Mr. Mime do? Didn't he like hypnotize people?
He's a psychic type.
I only know him from the TV show, but yeah.
I didn't even think about Pokemon. Pokemon would be cool, but you're kind of babysitting them. Especially like an Onyx or something or a...
Well, Mr. Mime, he's kind of a
Mew
weird
would probably be a
person,
really good
dude.
babysitter.
Mew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, until the kid found its Pokeball.
Yeah,
Mew doesn't have a
Miss
Pokeball,
you.
though, technically. But Mew can put bubbles around shit and everything else.
Protect people, yeah.
Yeah. What about Yoshi from that fucking Super
Yoshi's
Mario?
Island?
Yeah, where it's like
Baby Mario.
he's already
Fucking
babysitting
love that
Baby
game.
Mario. The honorable mention that I thought of just as we were having this conversation, I don't know why. I don't think he'd be particularly great, but he'd probably be fun about it, is Claptrap from Borderlands.
That would be funny.
As long
Tiny Tina.
as long as you don't have any stairs in your house.
One weakness.
His only weakness, yeah. Yeah, that'd be good. Or like Tiny Tina.
Yeah.
Tiny Tina.
Your kid would go crazy.
Earthworm Jim, he'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just a worm.
So there was another-
Your kid would eat him.
That was another video game that had an excellent TV show. Earthworm Jim.
Yes, it does.
Maybe that's going to have to be a topic in an upcoming podcast where we talk about games that came to movies and or TV series.
Yeah, that'd be a good question to ask the fan base as well.
Absolutely.
Well, let
Game
us
would you
know
like to see
something
as a
to
movie?
watch.
Or what movie would you like to see as a game?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
both. Or like, what ones have you seen that really did it for you? I remember
Yeah,
when,
you guys-
when the Pokemon movie first came out, and like I lived in a small town, so we didn't get like new movie access all that often. But somehow, this store called the Bargain Shop actually had VHS copies of the Pokemon movie, and I was so stoked to find one there.
Just funny to think about having to go to a store and rent a movie. That's so long ago.
Yeah,
It seems so long ago.
yeah,
right?
it does.
That was a thing. Renting a video game like Clay Fighters. I rented that game so many times.
Don't you remember renting like consoles for an evening because you had like a birthday?
Yes. Yeah, I've done that a couple of times.
I don't think I ever rented a console.
I did that when I came to Regina to see my grandparents. Yeah, that's the first time I ever played an N64.
The joysticks would probably be just fucked on the controller.
Yeah,
Hey guys, well, that'll do it for another episode of Peanut Gallery Gaming. Our opinions don't matter, but listeners' opinions do matter. So I know you guys have been giving some homework out to our listeners. We want to hear what you guys want us to talk about. look into and give us some feedback because we really want to know what you guys want to listen to. So reach out to our Facebook and Twitter page. Absolutely. We do also have a YouTube account, Peanut Gallery Gaming Podcast. Check us out there as well. So there's a lot of ways to get a hold of us. Until next time, talk to you guys later.
Later.
Adios.
See ya.
Slowest goodbyes ever. So funny.